Tonight, an FBI probe continues. Sources tell CNN investigators found a computer link between a Russian bank and the Trump organization that they're calling odd. Meanwhile, the White House is riding high on a robust jobs report. President Trump has called the statistics phony in the past. We look back at his week. Also, deadly protests rock South Korea's capital. That's after the president there is ousted. We're live in Seoul for the very latest. Plus, what could be a major shift in the Catholic Church. Married men could become priests, but current priests are still banned from marriage. Hello, I'm Hannah Vaughan-Jones, standing in for Hala Garani, live from CNN London, and this is The World Right Now. Well, hello again, and we begin with an investigation by a highly secretive division of the FBI. Sources tell CNN federal investigators and computer scientists are continuing to examine if there was a computer server connection between the Trump organization and a Russian bank. Questions about the possible connection were widely dismissed just months ago, but we've learned that the FBI's counterintelligence team is still investigating. That's the same unit looking into Russia's alleged interference in the US presidential election. Live to the South Korean capital now, Alexandra Field is standing by for us. Alexandra, she'll go down in history, but will she go to jail? What's the immediate future looking like for Park Geun-hye?
Look, she was not in the courtroom today when those justices unanimously agreed to uphold her impeachment.
It's a good news day for the White House. Several states are legally challenging Donald Trump's revised travel ban, even after the president addressed some of the most controversial points of his original executive order. The top Democrat on the House Intelligence Committee says he's seen no evidence to substantiate President Trump's claim that his predecessor, Barack Obama, wiretapped Trump Tower telephones. He said this after meeting with the FBI director. And now for the good news. The U.S. economy added 235,000 jobs in the first full month of Mr. Trump's presidency. Now, you may remember candidate Trump disparaged the whole idea of a jobs report. The White House press secretary, Sean Spicer, though, was ready to address that earlier.
In the past, the president has referred to particular job reports as phony or totally fiction. Does the president believe that this jobs report was accurate and a fair way to measure the economy?
Yeah, I talked to the president prior to this, and he said, to quote him very clearly, they may have been phony in the past, but it's very real now.
So let's separate the politics from the substance of this jobs report with CNN Money correspondent Paul LaMonica. He's described himself as the greatest president for jobs that God ever created. I think that's almost a direct quote as well from the past. Is President Trump right to take credit for this good jobs report from February?
1 month does not a great jobs president make, of course. I think that there is some validity to the notion that there's more confidence in the economy, and that may have translated to more businesses hiring. But let's be honest here, Hannah. The economy was on solid footing, and Trump inherited that from President Obama.
Thanks for joining us on the program. A week in review. I mean, goodness me, where do we start? I suppose last Saturday with a Twitter storm, and then since then we've had travel bans and Obamacare repeal as well. Has the president managed to weather the storm of this last week?
No. I think his self-inflicted wound of his accusation last weekend that President Obama illegally wiretapped his phones at Trump Tower could be the worst thing that he's done to himself yet.
Now, after this very smooth hour of telly, you'd be forgiven for thinking that TV always goes as planned. Well, you'd be wrong. Take a look at this serious discussion on South Korea, which went somewhat off the rails on the BBC. And a warning, keep your eyes on the doorway.
Scandals happen all the time. The question is, how do democracies respond to those scandals?
And what will it mean for the wider region? I think one of your children's just walked in. I mean, shifting sands in the region. Do you think relations with the North may change?
Well, the guest, as you can see, tries to soldier on while swatting his child away. Cue the second child, who then comes waddling in on a baby bouncer. A woman, as you can see, has just burst into the room to try to end the interruption and the disruption and literally drag the children away. Hopefully those kids aren't traumatized by just trying to speak to Daddy. Thank you very much for watching The World Right Now. It's been a pleasure being in your company, and Quest Means Business is up next.